We are going to go ahead and start. Good morning to all of the attendees. It's great to, well, I can't see you, but great to have you guys. Welcome to our first Internship Connector platform session webinar. My name is Sashay. I'm the membership director here at the Bronx Chamber, as well as the executive assistant. And on the back end, we have our fellow staffer, Dolores, and she will be the webinar facilitator. So if you guys, while we're going through the PowerPoint, have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat and we will be answering when the PowerPoint is done. And so our presenter today will be Sarah. She's a special project consultant with us here at the Chamber, and she'll be the one discussing the Internship Connector platform. So without further ado, again, thank you guys all for tuning in. And Sarah, you can go ahead.
Great. Here we go. Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We have been working on this Internship Connector platform for a few months now, and very excited to share with you where we're at right now. This is a pilot platform. And before I jump in about this, I do want to be mindful of everyone's time, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of background and context. My name is Sarah Benizio. I have been a longtime member of the Chamber of Commerce through Metro Optics, small business in the Bronx, and also through Lisa Soren, who's been a longtime friend and mentor to me. So I'm excited to have had the opportunity to be a consultant with the Chamber for the last several months throughout the pandemic, actually. So this is an exciting opportunity to have gotten a few things done without all the rigmarole of our usual in-person events. We've had time to dig into a few other things. We just launched a brand new website for the Chamber, so I hope you'll check it out, bronxchamber.org, where you will also find a dedicated page about the Internship Connector. And I'll get a little bit more into that in a bit. But yeah, let's dive in. I actually started with the Chamber sometime in April, and then through one of our current member college partners, Manhattan College, we found a bunch of great interns who helped us on a bunch of projects over the summer. And through that process, I thought to myself, you know, it would be really great if we could connect our member businesses and nonprofit organizations at the Chamber with, our member schools who probably have students that are looking for opportunities. And it's such a bizarre time now with the pandemic and, trying to do all the things that we used to do with, our in-person options so limited, but, we're all Zoom aficionados at this point. So, we've actually been doing our intern projects primarily, actually exclusively over Zoom. So we know that it does work. So yeah, the Internship Connector is going to hopefully create opportunities for students at our member colleges. And when I say member colleges, I mean colleges and universities who are members of the Chamber, with our businesses and organizations who are members of the Chamber. And so I'm going to get started with a quick slideshow, and then as soon as we're done, I will happily take any questions. Just please put those in the chat, as Sashay said. There we go. Okay, so we're just going to go over what is this platform, how does it work, and I'm going to let you know how we will communicate updates and resources and changes, etc. So I envision this, I'm sort of a matchmaker myself, not in the romantic sense, but in the let's help people make connections to each other sense. So this was kind of a natural evolution of a project for me. We aim to be the hub by which our member colleges and universities can connect with our member businesses and organizations, so that the students at the schools can find opportunities with, as many call them, external internship opportunities. So we want to facilitate the connections that can make that happen. Okay, so just a quick visual just to help you understand how this works. So we are going to be doing some more, private outreach to each of our member businesses to encourage them to think a little bit differently about filling their labor needs at this time. An intern obviously is a great way to, do work that needs to be done. And right now it's, it's kind of a dire time for our businesses and our business community where, people have, if they're still open and operating, there's things that need to be done, needs that need to be filled. And a student who is eager and looking for work opportunities could be a great fit for this. So we're going to support our member businesses in terms of thinking about what it will take to successfully host and hire an intern. And also support our member colleges in advertising their upcoming job fairs and other internship getting to know you type of events. Additionally, we will be building a resource bank. I'll get into that in just a minute with regards to how to connect businesses to the colleges in terms of any administrative paperwork, et cetera, that they'll need to register as a partner successfully. So once we've successfully compiled this information, we will organize it. We will post it on the Chamber website in a members only area. Because again, this is a pilot platform that at this point is exclusively for members of the Chamber. I just want to reiterate that. So we do need to kind of keep that information separate and available only to our members. So if you are on the email list that received an invitation to this webinar, then you are part of that group already. But we're happy to add anybody else, member colleges and universities. If there's other departments of folks that we want to get onto those lists, just please drop us a note. I'm going to provide contact information throughout the webinar for Sachet, and we'll get you on that list. So we're going to organize, post, and distribute the information to the appropriate groups. Again, the whole point of this platform is to leverage, the biggest asset that the Chamber has, which is its network of members. We're trying to connect you all to each other so that we can move forward and help people find opportunities. So how does this work? On the bronxchamber.org website, there is a page called the Internship Connector. And on that page, I'll show you a screenshot in just a second, there's 2 Google Forms that you can use. You could also email Sachet directly if you prefer, but we set up a couple of Google Forms to collect the appropriate information. One is for our Chamber member businesses and organizations to submit an internship opportunity, which we will then add to our list in one place that we will then disseminate to member colleges and universities. So we're going to, this is all predicated on the participation of our businesses and organizations who have opportunities, right? So they will need to send us those opportunities, and we will then organize them and put them all together in one place. And then we're going to send those to our member college contacts so that you have a list of opportunities that you can discuss and present with your students and disseminate as you see fit. And then the other Google form is for our Chamber member colleges and universities to submit their upcoming events. And then we will, again, compile them all in one place on a Google Calendar where you will be able to, where our member businesses will be able to see what's coming up. Mercy College has an event, Manhattan College has an event, Fordham has an event coming up that they could then, attend and participate and get to know students who are looking for internships. So again, this is on our brand new redesigned website. Visit bronxchamber.org, click resources, and then select the Internship Connector, and you will see the page. Again, there's a sort of a public and a members only area of this page, but the Google Forms are in the public section, so anybody can submit. But again, this is for our members only. So this is what they look like. And if you have any issues or questions or anything like that, you can certainly always reach out to Sachet. And that's her email address, and I will be posting this again throughout. Okay, so how are you going to see when we have added new internship opportunities? For our member college representatives, we will have compiled them into a single Google document, or a Google sheet rather, and that will be emailed out as new opportunities are added. So if you're on our email list because you have successfully registered for this, then you're already on our list. And if you want to add anybody else from your organization, just let us know and we'll get them on the list as well. So these will be sort of like a push notification for you. The other way is, as I mentioned, there's a members only area of the Internship Connector page where these will be posted. And it's going to be a little bit more difficult, I think, there's multiple college representatives who are on our distribution list, and the profile credentials that you would need to sign in are held by the main chamber contact. So this is probably not the way that you would be accessing those listings, but they will be hosted, or posted rather, on our website in that area if you happen to have the credentials. But again, we are going to email them to you, so you don't have to really worry about that. Same thing for member businesses and organizations. If you want to look at all of the upcoming college events, the hiring events, internship fairs, etc., that anything career service oriented that might be on there, then that's going to be all in one place on the calendar. And again, we will email you the link to this calendar so you have it and you can bookmark it. And again, the other way is that it will be posted on our website in the members only area. So a little bit more about how to start this process, right? So there is definitely some paperwork involved for most of the options to hire an intern, but I am here to advocate for the process and say it's worth it. It's definitely worth it if you want to hire an intern and potentially have part of the cost offset by federal work-study funds. That is an available option at many, if not all, of our member college partners. So again, it does take some registration to successfully get onboarded with that, but I do believe it is worth it. And that, again, that's one option for hiring an intern, and it's particularly attractive, I think, to businesses who may just not be in great financial way right now because of the pandemic and all the ways that everyone is kind of being challenged right now financially. This might be a great opportunity. So you could, of course, pay an intern directly and not go through federal work study, but it's an attractive option for a lot of folks. So you could hire an intern using federal work study funds in part to offset that. You can pay them an hourly rate or a stipend as you are able. Of course, there's students who want to pursue an internship for course credit, right? That's, they'll have to figure out the paperwork on their own. But I've certainly known a few students who have initiated that process in past roles that I've been in. So that's absolutely an option. And then, of course, there's the occasional student who says, you know what, I want to get this experience. So I will work for free. I don't really think anybody should be particularly working for free. I think labor is valuable. So if you can, you could have someone who's working for you for experience and provide a stipend to maybe cover, some of their costs. That would be great as well. So these are your options in terms of hiring an intern. So this is, again, for our member businesses and organizations that have opportunities. You can start thinking about the different ways that you might be able to hire an intern in this way. Do want you to keep in mind, of course, each school is a little bit different. Not everyone is identical. I think most of the CUNY schools are almost identical in terms of their protocol, but each college is a little bit different. So you just keep that in mind. And of course, you may get to near the finish line and find a great fit. And then find out that maybe they're not the best fit. It's just kind of like hiring anybody, but just something to keep in mind. Each institution is different, and to that end, I mentioned our resource bank earlier, which is currently in process, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a second. if you are looking to hire an intern, these are our member businesses and organizations, you will need to establish the conditions of the internship with the student directly. And oftentimes that does involve working with the school where they are a student as well. So FWS, that's Federal Work Study Funds. If those or course credits are involved, then you'll definitely need to register your business or organization with the school in some way. Administratively. So that's basically a case-by-case basis, but we just wanted to kind of lay out expectations from the beginning. To that end, the resource bank is the way that we're going to try to make that a little bit easier for our member businesses and organizations. And in speaking with representatives at each college, we would like each member college to submit any paperwork requirements, documentation, relevant website links, anything that's going to help us connect our businesses and organizations that are interested in hiring students with you so that we can get the paperwork done, get onboarded. A lot of the schools, if not all of them, have either Simplicity or another type of a web program that puts all their internship opportunities in one place, and that's often part of it. So we want to make sure that everyone has the resources that they need to start the process successfully and hopefully get it to the finish line and hire an intern. So all information is going to be furnished by our member schools. So we'll need that from you in order to add it to the resource bank. And of course, again, we will compile it, we will organize it, and we will disseminate it to the member businesses because we want them to be able to kind of hit the ground running and do whatever it is they need to do to successfully onboard and go ahead and hire the interns. So again, it will live in, simple, Google products, easy to access, easy for us to update on our end and send links to. And of course, it will live also online on the Internship Connector page in the members only section as well. But email will probably be the best way for everyone to receive these documents. So what's next? How do we actually get started with this? As I mentioned, this is a pilot platform. We've been developing it. We've kind of been going through having a lot of different conversations with our existing partners, and we would love to connect with the rest of you that we haven't yet had the pleasure of connecting with, especially at our member colleges and universities, because again, building this resource bank successfully is going to be very important to making sure that we have like a robust platform that really has useful information for our member businesses and organizations so that they can get excited, about the prospect of filling some of their labor needs with students and providing students at local colleges with opportunities. I think there's just so many that I've spoken to just in my travels, so to speak, and in my experience that would love to be able to do this, but they don't know how to get started. They don't know what the first step is. And so we want to, take the guesswork out of that. And again, do what the Chamber does best, which is to help connect our different members to each other. So for any businesses and orgs that are on with us today, the first step is, do I want an intern? Yes, I'm assuming you do if you're participating today. How to get started? Well, the first thing will be a really nice, complete and comprehensive internship opportunity description, right? So that we provided a sample. It's actually what I used. I put it together when we hired our Manhattan College interns this past summer for a multi-pronged, multi-project internship opportunity. And so we've made that available to you to just kind of get the wheels turning and get started and fill it in with your own information. And then, of course, we're going to be updating the resource bank as we receive information from our member colleges to make sure that the, sort of a roadmap, if you will, is available for getting started with each school. Some people might know right off the bat, hey, I want to hire an intern from X, Y, and Z school. It'll be organized by folder, by school. So that'll be easy enough. For our member colleges and universities, it will be important for you to communicate with us all of those protocol related documents that we'll need to add to the resource bank. Anything from, an overview, FAQ, how-tos, again, website links, anything. If we can just put them all in one place and organize them by school, it'll help our member businesses access them much more easily. And of course, anything that's coming up in terms of internship, job fairs, obviously pretty much everything is remote these days. Send us the details and we'll put them on our shared calendar and make them available to our businesses. As I said, email is going to be the main conduit, I think, by which everyone will most easily access all of the different resources we're going to be sending around, the Google Docs, the lists, the folders, the calendars, etc. So just make sure, and of course, just, updates as far as, where we're at with the pilot program, pilot platform, etc. I do want to mention also another one of my roles with the Chamber, if you will, is that I am director of our newly formed Bronx Chamber of Commerce Foundation. We are currently eagerly and anxiously awaiting our 501c3 status from the IRS. And when that happens, we'll be able to do a lot more fundraising. And the goal is to move this platform under the auspices of the foundation and turn it, really flesh it out into a larger and more robust program where we can provide more resources to our members and really make this the utility that I hope that it will be. It started off as what I thought was a great idea, and we had been able to see it be successful in our own practice. We hired some great interns, and we're still working with one of them, and she's fantastic. So I can certainly vouch for the model, so to speak, and I'm hoping that we can scale it up into something that our members will really consider a resource going forward. This is part of, Chamber 2021 #goals. So we are going to keep it moving in that direction, and we're here to support you. As with anything else, again, this is, it's a pilot platform. Things are going to be evolving, and we're going to add to it, and we're going to tweak things that may not be working so well, and hopefully as more resources become available for the Chamber, we can expand it and make it a little bit more user-friendly. We kind of had to do a few workarounds to make things work the way we wanted them to, but we are nearing the end of the allotted presentation time, so I definitely want to make sure that we have plenty of time for questions. But again, I just wanted to reiterate, we're here for you. This is what the Chamber does. We provide supports, especially, Sachet is the main contact for the Internship Connector. She is our membership director. So she knows our members, and she wants to get to know you if you haven't had the chance to build a relationship with her. She's a consummate professional and one of just my favorite people to work with. So I think you'll really find that we're here for you to make this easy or easier. It's not going to be easy, but it'll be easier with the support of the Chamber staff. So thank you so much. And I'm going to, I see there's a couple in the Q&A and a couple in the chat. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to start with Yolani Rodriguez. Thank you so much for engaging with us. Are internships typically semester long or less than that? That is really entirely up to you. If you have the option to host, or host/hire an intern for longer, I think you start with most schools. I would say, again, it's a case-by-case basis. So if you're working with a student, maybe you start off with maybe a one-semester commitment, so to speak, and then you can go from there. I personally, I hired an intern through, again, not through a member college situation. This is a while back, but when I was at Metro Optics, I hired through the Summer Youth Employment Program, and she ended up staying with me for, I don't know, like 4 years. So we kind of established our own conditions after that. But I think, at the start, you set the terms and conditions of the internship with the student. And of course, the school will, have something to do with that, especially if it's for course credit or for federal work study, because there's guidelines that are in place for both of those. But again, it's kind of a case-by-case basis. But I would say start off with maybe a one semester type of a commitment, and then see how it goes, and maybe it'll be great and you'll want to go a lot longer. Okay, so thank you so much. I'm going to leave the Q&A and go over to the chat. Okay. One second. Okay, so there was a question about opportunities for high schoolers. So currently, as I mentioned, this Internship Connector platform right now in its pilot phase is for our members only, right? So if you are a member college or university, this will be for interns coming from those institutions. My goal going forward as a director of the foundation is to expand this to include high schools. That's going to be a little ways down the road. We're going to have to get probably a lot more funding to be able to facilitate that. But yes, the goal is to expand to also include participating area high schools. But right now, we wanted to launch this pilot under the auspices of a sort of like a more controlled environment. So we're sticking with our members at the moment, and to have this be a benefit of membership for them. But yes, the goal is to expand this to other colleges and universities, and hopefully get them to become members as well once they see the benefits, and then eventually to the high school level. But yes, we would love to, if you have relationships, I'm thinking about this, if you have relationships with your high school's alumni, and now they're in college and you want to help connect them, then this would be, we can try to help grease the wheels a little and facilitate that depending on where they go. Okay. What colleges did your interns come from? So this is actually a multi-part answer. Currently, our intern, Grace, is from Manhattan College. And over the summer, we had 2 other interns that were also from Manhattan College. And also 2 members of the current full-time chamber staff were initially interns at Bronx Community College. So that was another great relationship that we had that turned into permanent opportunities. Is there a, sorry, trying to read the chat, but this window is a little small. Let's see.
So if you'd like my help, it says, is there or will there be a resume bank with intern resumes?
Oh, thank you. Yes, here we go. A resume bank with intern resumes. That is an interesting question, an opportunity. I would like to be able to, but I'm just thinking of privacy concerns. So that's something we could definitely look into. I'm sure there's probably a way that we could work with our member college representatives to do that, the proper way, to make that available. So that's a great question. Thank you for bringing it up. Definitely a potential addition to the resource bank, pending, just making sure that we can do everything right privacy-wise. Thank you for that question. Great. Thank you for your comment, Lisette from Ostos. All right. I'm sorry, Lisa Net, excuse me. Any other questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Again, Sachet will be your main contact. I am hopefully on board with the chamber for another month or so, in a more full-time capacity to provide supports, especially with, this is sort of my baby, if you will. So I definitely want to make sure that everyone has what they need and really see this off to a fantastic launch. We're sort of in the quiet phase right now, where we're trying to compile all the necessary information, especially for the resource bank and all of that. And we are welcoming all feedback and suggestions that will really help make this the asset that we hope that it will be. I'm gonna stop screen sharing so that I can wave goodbye and say thank you so much for participating. And we look forward to your questions. You can submit them through email. You can also call the chamber, 828-3900, area code 718, of course. Or you can email sachet@bronxchamber.org, and between she and I, we will make sure that you have that opportunity. Oh, and I just saw something else coming through the Q&A. Thank you, Garrett Jennings. For high schoolers, you could do apprenticeship job shadowing program. Yeah, that's absolutely something that we can consider going forward. We absolutely want to expand this to reach as many people as possible as soon as we are able to generate the appropriate resources and implement that. So thank you so much for your suggestion. All right, so oh, Yolani, what is the typical number of hours a college intern works per week? So right now, I mean, I can only give you sort of a benchmark of what we're working with right now. Our intern Grace, she's capped at around 10 hours a week, but that's based on her individual availability, her course load. I think she may actually have another internship separately, or she used to, so she was limiting herself to what she knew she would be able to successfully fulfill. So that was something that we worked out together based on her availability. So I would say that's probably a good rule of thumb. Is about 10, but some students have maybe 5 hours available. It depends on what the scope of your need is and how flexible you are. And when I say you, I mean our member businesses and organizations who have opportunities. I think the name of the game with this all is to just be aware that certain things are everything is mostly on a case-by-case basis, and certain things it would behoove you to be flexible, especially now, with the pandemic and the fact that pretty much all internships are going to be remote probably for a while until we can all gather together safely and in confidence. So I guess flexibility is just kind of the name of the game going forward. But I think that being said, if students do not need to come in and travel and do all that, that's hours saved. So you might be able to actually get more, a couple more hours of real work out of an internship engagement while they're remote. So it could be an opportunity. Yeah, great. All right, thank you. I don't see any more open questions. So anything else that comes up, please feel free to reach out to us. And this is intended to be an intro to reach as many of our members as possible who want to become engaged with us, right? So this is just here's our baseline. Here's where we're going, but what we're really aiming to do is to foster as many relationships with our members as possible that will actually go ahead and facilitate these connections. We want to close the loop. We don't want to, we didn't build this for our health. We really wanted to make sure that, people can actually find each other and connect. And, there's a lot of things that need to happen, especially when you have a federal work study funded opportunity. But again, I really believe that at the end of the day, it's worth it. And you really only, I believe, have to do it once if you want to register with a school, fill out the paperwork, sign the contracts, do everything like that. It's a good opportunity to be able to hire more, down the road, you might be able to hire much more efficiently if you're already registered. So if you're looking to build like a longer term relationship with schools to maybe have interns come in on a rotating basis and build your own little program at your business, then it's definitely worth it down the road. So, all right, great. So we're really looking forward to watching this blossom, so to speak, and we're going to continue to add to our resource bank. And we hope that our businesses and companies that are looking for interns will see the value and go ahead and create their internship opportunities so we can get those on the list, and then we can distribute them to the schools and hopefully make those connections. So I'm going to stop here and just say thank you again for participating, and we're really looking forward to working with you. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for joining us on our first little stab at this. Again, please feel free to give me a call, 718-828-3900. My extension is 1004. Or as Sarah has placed in many parts of the, um, the slide, you can contact me at sachet@bronxchamber.org.